Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Let's take a look at the indices and check out how they have performed and the outlook for the upcoming week. First, let's do a brief discussion on how the indices have performed. The US market started well at the beginning of the week. Monday and Tuesday, we saw a strong rebound as the UK government, I beg your pardon, the UK government reversed the tax cut policy. And we see the indices started to trade cautiously on Wednesday and Thursday ahead of the non-farm payroll. When the non-farm payroll was announced, the US indices start to tank as the data shows strong employment rate in the US economy. Okay, in the Asia, STI did a small rebound but struggled to edge higher. Hang Seng made a strong rally at the beginning of the week, but closes week on Friday as well. So let's take a look at the performance chart to see overall how they had performed. Okay, so you're looking at the performance chart over here. We see the Dow up 2%, S&P 500 up 1.7% for the week, Nasdaq up 0.7%, STI up 0.5%, Hang Seng up 3.0%. Now, the whole week may be a positive performance, but once you look at the chart later on, it may be tricky for the week ahead. So let's take a look at the chart here. Okay, so we are looking at the Dow first. So looking at the Dow, what we are staring at is a downtrend channel, which I've plotted earlier. I mentioned last week that the Dow must cross certain level in order to be bullish. So at the beginning of the week, we saw a glimmer of hope as the Dow started to rebound strongly to hit crucial level. Okay, these are the levels that I mentioned around there. So the Dow had managed to break 30,149 points at the early part of the week. But on Thursday and Friday, we saw the retracement. So by looking at this trend line, downtrend channel plotted earlier before I start the video, where you can see that the Dow was actually resisted by the downtrend line. And what we are looking at is that we have an island reversal. Well, the island reversal is a bearish sign, and of course, the support at 28724, it's a very crucial one. So we have this support which needs to hold for the next week in order for any recovery to take place. Okay, so some of the things that we may imagine just in case it may not happen. If the market somehow or rather looking at to recover, then yes, granted that it may go down, then it may have some overshoot, then rebound, and if it can recover back to hit this high again, then we have a double bottom formation. Then we have a potential change of direction towards the end of the year. So very fast, we're at the last quarter of the year. And typically during this quarter, we see positive ending to the year. So hopefully this year can repeat itself. And of course, not to forget the midterm elections is coming. So there might be a chance. But the key thing next week is that the inflation data and followed by the FOMC, which if we see continuous rate hike may put pressure to the market. Nevertheless, let's look at S&P 500 and the rest of the indices before we wrap up. Okay, so let's take a close eyes at this support level for the Dow for the week. And if it cannot hold, if we continue to touch in this channel, or rather if we continue in this channel, it may touch this downward channel around 28,164. So keep a close eye on that. Now, S&P 500 is also in the channel, right? And we are looking at this index got resisted over here or form a resistance over here at this 3,790 5 around there. Okay, 3,795 around there. And then we have the support around 300 or rather 3,570 around there. Okay. This is S&P 500 ETF chart because I have problem loading the S&P 500. Let's try again. Let's see whether it loads now. Okay, sorry, it loads now. So basically here, the channel I can plot again. So we can see the downtrend channel. So the S&P 500 ETF and the S&P 500 index, they are actually almost the same because it tracks very closely. The levels are almost the same. So we can see actual S&P 500 resistance form was at 3,807, around there, thereabouts. And then the support is about 3,584. So basically, we see that if the downtrend channel continues, it may break this support and then come down to this channel, recover back to the channel line, upper channel line, and then pull back. But hopefully, this is not the case. We hope that this might happen and then rebound back to test the high. Of course, you can see an island reversal over here as well. There's a gap here, gap up and gap down. So next week for the Nasdaq is also crucial. So Nasdaq's immediate major support is at 10,565, where you can see the major support over here, tested one time, tested two times, and we have a resistance here, and it is at 11,235. So is it going to be a double bottom or is it going to continue its downward movement? This one we have to look out for the support. If it breaks, then the downtrend continues. Hang Seng, we are looking at the very familiar chart over here. So if you look at the chart here, the candle actions here, candle action here, candle action here, and of course, all these candle actions led to more downside. So will there be more sell-off next week? So this was here, then this was here. So each sell-off from the high was, let's measure, was about 7%. This was about 13%. Okay, so if it's breaking the low, okay, which it happened twice, so it should be around 7% will hit the support level, and if it breaks the low, it should be around 8 to 10%. So just an estimate. So it's about 16,000. So if it continue its downward movement, there's nothing new. Now, overall, we are on a very bad downtrend for the index. And yeah, as the Chinese National Day is coming to a close, we probably may see more traders coming back in, and the downtrend may continue if they continue to sell off. STI, well, we can see visible struggle over here. As you can see, open higher, close lower, open higher, close lower. So we can see two struggling candles over there. And we have a resistance form at 3,168. Okay, so if the downward action continue, we are looking at support at 3,097. And this support is a major support. As you can see, the whole zone over here, it was congested with candles, especially from this point onwards. 3,087. So you can see a lot of price or levels are supported by the market, preventing it from going lower. So here is a very crucial one. So if it breaks below and goes down, well, we may be having an ugly close to the year. Okay, wrapping up what we see next week, we are going to have crucial data ahead. Of course, UK, we have GDP data, but that may help to lift the market sentiment. So like last week, Bank of England step in to support the bond market. That helps the markets to recover. And then the UK government reversed their decision. That helps the market further. So maybe if the GDP numbers is okay, then maybe you help the market. Then we had the US core CPI data. Right, this is very, very important because if this number continue to go higher, then we may see market sell off. But if the numbers dropped, okay, then we can see a reprieve, and hopefully the oil rally ends because the OPEC cut their production by 2 million, which was a surprise to the market. So that therefore helped the oil to recover higher. But then if the inflation numbers are still high, then recessions is really coming, then we may be seeing oil price starting to retrace again because expecting lower demand. So next week will be a crucial week. So the week after next will be the result earnings kickoff by the banks. Then this is where we have another wild run from the market. Okay, so once again, thank you for viewing this week's video. I will see you again next week.